Alrighty. There we go. Welcome back to Highlights from XPAC. We still got Josh on the phone. I thank you for taking the time to be with us tonight, Josh. I know your voice is a little scratchy, but I'm going to ask you one final question and take your time to answer it. And I know you've had all day to think about it. What could you say to young Americans across the country, across the world that are listening to this? Why should they get involved with their community? Why should they network, be on MySpace, play games, get involved with politics? Why should it matter to them?
Well, and I think I'll start, if you don't mind. I know we left off at the end of the last break.
Exactly.
About the mainstream media, and it ties in why we should get more and more youth involved. When you look at the media outlets out there, MSNBC, NBC, ABC, CBS, and Fox, you look at them from a perspective of what am I going to hear today? What spin am I going to get from this? And you have people like Keith Olbermann and Rachel Maddow out there who perpetrate continually this idea that we as conservatives are fringe, where Tea Party Nazis, we're fundamentalists, we're lunatics, etc. Or the bloggers, we're anti-gay bigots. And this is what our youth are seeing conservatives portrayed as. With the unfortunate incident that occurred in Texas, I was actually being interviewed for Fox News when the plane struck the IRS building. Right away, people come out and say, oh, he's connected to the Tea Party. See, we told you they were radicals. See, we told you they were fundamentalists, anarchists that want to destroy our government. That is absolutely not true. Tea Party is a group of people that are fed up with the federal government. They're saying, we don't need you to micromanage every second of our lives. And as to why it's important for youth to become involved and why should they, I had never really much of an interest in politics until 2001. In 2001, I woke up on September 11th at 5:30 in the morning in Arizona, and as I'm leaving for school, I was a freshman in high school. My stepfather came out and said, Josh, a plane crashed into the World Trade Center. I didn't think anything of it. I figured, okay, a small commuter train. And I'm on the bus. I took the city bus to school, then rode my bike for the last mile. And every morning I'd stop to get a coffee and some breakfast at this little corner store. When I get into the store, I hear on the radio, that they're playing that another plane has crashed, and one has also crashed into the Pentagon. At 16 years old, I realized at that point in time, my life had changed forever. That this was a terrorist attack. Nobody had been calling it a terrorist attack yet or anything. But something told me it was. I go on to school and I'm talking to people. It was my job to get there early and raise the American flag. And nobody had really heard anything about this yet. And I remember that day because I sat in class the entire day just watching this being replayed over and over and over again. Now, fast forward 9 years later, and when I hear breaking news into my segment that this plane had crashed into a Texas building, they haven't even announced that it's an IRS building yet. And right away, the first thought is a terrorist attack. That's the kind of world we live in. And that's what drove me to get involved. I know today it's healthcare, it's a deficit, it's all these other things. But I think what we have to do to radically change the direction we're heading is bring in the youth and teach them what true American history is. Christopher Columbus was not a bad guy. Our founding fathers were not bad guys. They were guys that were bent on getting away from the tyranny and oppressiveness of the king. That said, hey, we can control our own destiny. We don't need you to tell us what to do. Government, yes, it's necessary, but it is also evil. And these are ideals that over the last 200 years, American men and women have fought and died for. And that is what we need to remember. That people have given up their lives for these ideals. Glenn Beck on Saturday night closing out XPAC read the entire inscription. Yes, everybody knows the first part of the inscription on Statue of Liberty. Give me your weary, you're tired, you're homeless, you're poor. He reads the entire inscription, and that is what it's all about in America. You don't have to have anything. You don't have to be someone to come here. And more and more, the Democratic Party is saying, you have to have this and this and this. You're entitled to this and this and this. But you're not. The only thing that people are entitled to in America is life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Rights given to us, not by man, not by government, but by God. And that is what we need to realize. And that is what we need to begin teaching to our youth. Yeah, you can be a Democrat and disagree with me, and I'm fine with that. But my concern is when you want to radically change our country and leave out every aspect of what our founding fathers thought of, died for, fought for. And that is why I think it is imperative that youth become involved. And how do we do that? We do that by speaking the truth to them. They're not someone that we have to speak down to or hide stuff from. We need to be open with the youth. We need to be honest with them. We need to say, hey, this is the situation we're in. Now, you can play a big part in changing that. I believe one of my students, Justin, from church, is still listening. And he knows that many times I've told him many of the struggles in my life that I've had. Do they make me look good? Absolutely not, because I've screwed up many times. But the point is to show is that there's work that needs to be done. And I can either sit on my butt and wait for other people to do it and whine and complain about it when I don't like it, or I can get involved now and make an impact on my community, in my neighborhood, on my country for generations to come.
That's very good, Josh. It comes to the point where you need to get up or get off the pot. You need the adversity that comes in your life. You can't let it take you out. And these things that have happened from 9/11 to people being homeless to the economy, we can't let this hold ourselves back. If you look at the founding fathers and you think about the Statue of Liberty and everything that's going on, it shows you that we came from a place of humility. We came from a place where we were broken, where we were poor, where we weren't able to stand on our own 2 feet without grasping hand in hand one another. We built this country out of nothing. We got free from the tyranny of other people. We wanted freedom of religion. We wanted freedom of press. We wanted the ability to build a country where we can be free, where we can help each other. And in the world that we live in today, it's all about me, me, me. It's not about helping each other anymore. And the Christian values are just being pulled out left and right. And I challenge the Christian community that's listening out there, from one ministry to another, or just to another fellow Christian to another fellow Christian, that today is your day. Either you are hot or cold, or God's going to spit you out of His mouth. He is sick and tired of people playing around with church, playing around with relationships. Because this is about relationships with people. Some people don't look at relationships connected to politics, but it is. Do you want your leaders to be ones that can be tyrannistic, socialistic? What do you want for your future? Are you planning on having children? Are you planning on, owning your home? Healthcare. The time is now, not later. We must stand up as a people and allow ourselves to move forward. I want to thank you, Josh, for calling in.
Thank you.
And
I'm launching a new website. I'd love for everyone to check it out. I'm working on it right now. It's a YouTube channel.
Okay.
The site will be posted on my Facebook, but it is youtube.com/theconservativemafia. And thank you guys for having me on.
All right. Thank you very much. Josh, just post all your links in the chat. Links are available. Everybody, you hear that? So we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll probably have K-Bird on the line. We'll see you in a little bit.